In some time, I'll also be exposing the Dawood Ibrahim angle to this on the Newshour tonight. We will be talking about a document which proves that Dawood Ibrahim's brother Iqbal Kaskar, when he came before the Mumbai police, actually gave away details of 3 top Indian players. I'm not taking their names today for other reasons. We will follow the story. But I want to ask the Mumbai police why they sat quiet and who these 3 top players are. Well, some panelists on the Newshour tonight who've been with us, some new panelists. Aslam Ghoni, member of 4 or 5 committees of the Indian Cricket Board. He was in Mumbai some time back, almost threatened to walk off our show. And now he's with us from Srinagar. Thank you very much. We won't let you walk off this time. Charu Sharma, it's great to see you back. Thank you very much. One of India's most familiar faces, sports commentator Shobha De is with us. And she's intrigued by what's happening, but she's not shocked. Sohail says don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't attack IPL. Gulu Ezekiel says don't spare IPL. YP Singh, former police officer, says spare nobody. And Arjuna Ranatunga says he knew this was about to happen. Former Sri Lanka captain. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Could have asked for a better panel than this one. Charu Sharma, do you believe it's 3 rotten eggs? I mean, isn't that the most laughable thing? Who is Bindu Dara Singh then, the 4th rotten egg?
Well, it's quite evident that there are more rotten eggs than we've seen so far, and not just the cricketers, but there are many rotten eggs in terms of the illegality of the booking, the bookie world. But, you know, it's easy to now extrapolate wildly, and my only suggestion would be at this point of time to just calm down and wait for more concrete proof. I don't know, I mean, it's a personal thing.
No, what concrete proof? Why is this not concrete?
Proof.
Why is this not concrete? What's not concrete about this?
Yes, but when we extrapolate, sometimes we'll get a little wild.
No, what are we extrapolating wrong? We're extrapolating that there's fixing. What's wrong?
Well, I also think that, you know, if it's limited to spot fixing, I think that's a perception. That's where the box ought to end. But when we start again extrapolating about the fact that matches are fixed,
no, so is spot fixing okay?
Results are fixed. I think that's going a bit too far.
Is spot fixing okay then?
We should wait for concrete proof.
No, you're saying spot fixing is okay.
No, I did.
No, but come on, Charu, you know, I know you love the game.
No, this is
no, I know you love the game, and so do I. Now, you know this, Charu. I know you love the game, and so do I.
I'm not defending anything.
No, but you know this, Charu, that this whole argument which is being put is don't target the game. This is an aberration of a few individuals. This is not going to work. Today, there's Dawood Ibrahim involved. There is his brother's confession. There is dirty money. There are terror links to the dirty
whoever
money.
may be involved or not.
No, there is the sleazeball called Bindu Dara Singh.
Whoever may be involved and
No, I mean, how are we going to limit this? YP Singh, what do you think?
Whoever may be in.
YP Singh. Watch. Okay.
It is a criminal conspiracy being done by the BCCI, the players, the police. The Dawood gang is the central operator, and all others seem to be employees of this organization. Dawood is the paymaster. There are various people occupying various hierarchies, and this is what the situation is, and it is certainly a major criminal conspiracy which is afflicting this entire game.
Yeah, so why are we being defensive?
This is what I mean by wild extrapolation.
Let's be frank.
What is wild?
Wild extrapolation.
No, I'll tell you one thing. I just have one question. Dawood Ibrahim's brother comes to India and tells the Mumbai police in written statement how 3 Indian players, I'm just being polite tonight, how 3 Indian players who worn the jersey of my country have sold themselves to D Company and Sharat Shetty and Dawood Ibrahim and Iqbal Mirchi and all these shady characters. And you're telling me don't extrapolate? The only thing I extrapolate is why was the Mumbai police quiet all this while? What got their tongue? 1 second. Shobha De, are we extrapolating too much?
No, I'm really shocked, surprised, and very disappointed with what Charu is saying.
What?
This concrete proof business has been going on for too long. There are too many loopholes in the system. We know that this concrete proof that's being asked for has seen a lot of other guys earlier on, cricketers, and I don't mind naming them, whether it's an Azharuddin or a Jadeja, who have gotten away with it because the concrete proof was missing. Now we're talking about rotten eggs and bad eggs when we know very well that the BCCI is taking advantage of the fact that there are loopholes in the system, that the IPC cannot really pursue any of this the way they're meant to. And they're taking advantage of the fact that even a Sreesanth will probably get away with it because we'll still be waiting for this concrete proof.
Who's going to give us the concrete proof?
And how are we going to establish this in a court of law?
No, tell me one thing.
This is what the Supreme Court has said.
Shobhade, I want to run the pictures of this man, Bindu Dara Singh.
He's a nobody.
This man Bindu
he's a
Dara
nothing
Singh.
and a nobody. He's a small little. He's really a small character, a small player in this bigger game. And
no, where does he come in? No, what is his use in this whole IPL?
Well,
picture?
when you see those, for example, you see the clips of him sitting next to a captain's wife, Dhoni's wife. What those clips are suggesting is what he's trying to establish through those clips, and the popular perception is that he's very close to this particular lady, which he may or may not be.
Yeah.
It's through suggestion, it's through influence.
No, but how does he get in? No, how does he get in? I mean, people like him are a dime a dozen. It's always existed. The link between Bollywood, the underworld, and cricket. It's not new. There's so much money involved. And it's such high stakes. Somebody like him, look at him. I mean, you see this clip and you'd imagine that he and Mrs. Dhoni are indeed very good friends. He's gone on to give interviews to say how close he is to her, how close he is to the captain, what a wonderful relationship they share. What is his purpose?
Insinuations of this kind is to establish his own credibility, to get ahead in the game with the kingpins, to carry on with those nefarious activities, sure in the knowledge that probably he probably thought he would never ever get caught. There are so many like him. And so many more are likely to be exposed.
So it's becoming bigger. It's not just cricket. It's not about cricket expertise. Charu Sharma, hear it loud and clear today. An attempt to cover this up will backfire. You know that. I know there are a lot of others there who say, we are serious about cricket. You may be serious about cricket, but a lot of people around you are not. And if the people who are supposed to run cricket are serious about cricket...
Yeah, but I mean...
Times now.
Yeah, one sec.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want anyone to misconstrue what I'm saying, Arnav. I wouldn't want anybody to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not condoning anything, and I'm not taking a soft stance on people. I'm
what is this? What did you mean by extrapolate? I have heard this. I have heard
examples. For instance, Arnav, a couple more examples. For instance, a couple more examples. I mean, if you say that so-and-so general or a major or colonel or whatever has been caught in the Indian Army, I mean, there can be no bigger bastion of propriety than the Indian Army, for instance, or any army. If they are caught doing something which is improper, then are we likely to say, listen, the whole army is infested, it's terrible, get rid of them, don't have, and similarly, people who write, for instance, Shobha, sorry about this, the people who write, sometimes have been caught plagiarizing, that somebody has borrowed certain passages from books. Are we saying that's proven now? So therefore, every book has a
very defensive.
I think you're just distracting attention from the main issue.
Extrapolation.
This is not an isolated incident.
I punish everybody who's guilty.
No, one second. Where's the punishment? I ask you tonight, I'm asking a few questions. Has the BCCI looked into session fixing? No. Has the BCCI investigated the modus operandi, which is key to cracking how the bookies operate? No. Is the BCCI probing the small-time operators who reach key places and how they approach players? No. Is the BCCI investigating honey traps? Aslam Ghani, correct me if I'm wrong. Is the BCCI investigating honey traps and the use of women? No. Is the BCCI investigating the misuse of the strategic timeout to fix matches? No. I mean, what is the BCCI doing, Mr. Aslam Ghani? And why is the BCCI, Mr. Aslam Ghani, behaving like an ostrich? Wants to bury its head down there and pretend there is nothing which is happening.
First, I correct one thing, Arnab. You just said that I walked out of your show. That's not a correct statement.
You were about to. You didn't. On a lighter note, you were about to. You didn't.
No,
I stopped you.
No. Please, no.
I stopped you.
Anyway, I'm in a better weather today, so I don't want to lose my cool. Bombay weather was bad for my, temperament. So what I want to tell you is, I'm really surprised. There's an investigation going on.
What investigation?
And as Charu has very rightly said, whosoever big comes in, I don't stand for anyone. I am not here to defend anyone. Whatever comes in, but it's not just an ipsy-dixy, just not on hearsay, just not
hearsay.
Just, leveling bald allegations.
Hearsay.
Bald allegations that no whole BCCI is involved.
No, hearsay. Who said? No.
Very rightly, Charu has advanced. No, please, listen to me. Whatever, I am not here to defend. If you can tomorrow point out any player's nexus with any BCCI official, I won't be here to say that no, this official is not involved.
The problem is,
but then it should not be jealousy. Listen,
what jealousy? Who's jealous?
Listen, please.
Who's jealous?
Jealousy
jealousy?
is that I find as on today that most of the people feel jealous of the constitution of BCCI itself.
Come on, Mr. Come on, Mr. Aslam Goni. That's a ridiculous argument. That's a ridiculous argument that you said.
The Supreme Court is jealous.
I'm sorry. Are you saying the people of this?
You put your hand on your heart. You put your hand on your heart and tell me. You see, I don't know. I am basically a lawyer. I know that a matter is investigated. There may be somebody who comes, figures in the whole issue, and then he can be taken to task, and nobody.
No. Sorry, I want to get his Sohail Seth here at this point. Let's get it. He's in London. One second. One second. No, Mr. Aslam Goni, don't bat defensively.
The whole game.
Don't bat defensively.
You are leveling allegation. You are saying as if everything is so bad.
The Supreme Court has pulled up the BCCI and called its attitude lackadaisical.
This is not
They have asked, the Supreme Court has asked that the three players. So you're saying the Supreme Court is jealous?
Shobha, if you have to behave as Supreme Court, Shobha, if you have to behave as investigating agency, I got nothing to say.
You mean to say the BCCI was oblivious all this time? The BCCI was ignorant, knew nothing of what's going on?
That the people on panel.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. One second. No. You see, no, Mr. No, one second, Mr. Goni. 1 second. You see, you investigate. But if you investigate on a premise that there is absolutely nothing, if you begin on a premise that there are 1 minute, Mr. Goni, allow me. I'm going to quote what your BCCI chief said. You played it down, and the BCCI chief said the sport is clean, we are running it clean. I'd say maybe you are trying to run it clean, but the sport is not clean. A sport in which a person called Vindu Dara Singh, through Sanjay, Jaipur and Jupiter, 1 minute, gets through a system, buys players, that sport is not clean. And I'm putting this web out here today. This web is becoming bigger. Let the BCCI tell us. Can they make sure the web will be smaller? Is it limited to 3 rotten eggs? Sohail Seth, what do you make of what's going on into this?
See, thankfully, apart from everything else, I can't blame Dawood Ibrahim, the rogue, for the bad weather in Delhi. I've been told it's very warm, since we all begin with the weather. There are two issues here. One is this spot fixing thing, which is as old as the hills. And Arnab, you're absolutely right. If any person in the BCCI believes it isn't happening, it's almost like saying that the government of India is not corrupt. The second point, which is completely distinctive from the rest, and the one that I want to establish is, yes, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The IPL is a brand that has been created for the last 5-6 years. Companies as sponsors have invested in the brand. From the turnout at the stadia, it seems that the matches are enjoyed by consumers. So to then say that, ban IPL. In India, we have this famous habit of doing the following. Operation successful, patient dead. We want to make all the noise. And I completely agree with you and with Shobha. This investigation will be a hogwash. The BCCI will come back to its erring ways. They are a bunch of control freaks. They want to control the game, not because they love cricket, but because they love the lure of glamour, money, and entertainment. My point is, investigate, let the media pressure be on. If people have spot fixed or whatever hell they've done, they need to belong to jail. I don't know this Dara Vindu Singh, whoever he is. If he's involved, arrest him. But the point is, don't demolish a brand that has been created.
No, but you are focusing too much on the brand.
Consumers,
you're focusing too much on the brand.
No, I'm focusing on two different things. You see, there was an earlier argument, even on Twitter and even on other news channels, which said that should IPL be banned. I'm saying rather than ban IPL, get rid of the disease or the cancer that has spread.
No, I would say...
You need to get into surgery. You can't get into prescriptive medicine now by saying, let's ban cricket completely. I mean, that's an erroneously stupid argument.
Sohail, I would argue that there are a group of people, and don't mind it. I'm not saying you, But I said there is a group of people who are trying to make everyone who's making reasonable arguments questioning IPL look foolish. Because, that group of people, Charu Sharma included, Charu Sharma began by saying the entire game is not bad. IPL is not bad. You can't sully the entire game. I say to Charu Sharma, nobody's sullying the game. And I say to you, Sohail Seth, nobody's sullying IPL. But I don't want anyone to believe that by using that argument that cricket is okay, cricket is okay.
I can't speak for Charu. I can't speak for Charu Sharma. My association with cricket is through television. I've barely seen one IPL match ever in my life, and I hated it. So that's where I stand.
Well,
Having said that, I'm saying get into the issue. The issue is spot fixing. The issue is nexus building. The issue is roguish behavior. And the issue is brazenness.
No, the issue is
that you raised, one of Mumbai police being ostrich-like, also exists. Now, every time anything dramatically terrible happens in India, we blame three personages. Either it's Dawood Abraham or Pakistan or China.
No, I don't think. No, I don't think.
People are never nailed.
No, I don't think. I don't think. No, I don't think. No, I don't think. I don't agree with you. No, again, you are being. Just so Sohail say it. Let me tell you with all seriousness. I'm going to put out a news report in 3 minutes. And more than anyone else, because you made that generic observation about everyone blaming Dawood and Pakistan and China for everything, I want you, Sohail, and all the viewers to see. Not to see. And I'm asking this question. In this country, you have Dawood, the most wanted man's brother, telling you that 3 players have sold their nation. What was the police doing? This is 2010 years back. I want to know all the people who were part of this cover-up. What is their accountability? Mumbai police is waking up today. What were they doing all this while? How many Mumbai police commissioners and joint commissioners have kept quiet on it? How many Indian cricket board members have known about it? And where are those players? Do they have the courage to come out and say, yes, Dawood Ibrahim's brother named us?
No, but
why are they hiding
them?
No, I'm asking the question.
You shame them. You name
I say it's the police has not done it.
Police commissioners or the joint commissioner, whoever the hell they are, name them and shame them.
I'm
Bring
asking
them to justice.
I'm asking
the Supreme Court today has made a huge indictment
Arjuna
of
Ranatunga. Arjuna Ranatunga, I'm sorry to come to you so late, sir. I know you've been listening patiently in Colombo. Now, as someone who is outside of the system and yet has strong views on IPL, do you believe that a lot of what is coming out right now, small-time operators, bookies, small-time actors, the sleaze, is fiction, or do you think this is the tip of the iceberg?
I think we have a major problem. A lot of people are trying to focus differently, but there's an issue in this matter. When this started in 2008, from the first time, there were issues. There were match fixing issues, there were spot fixing issues, there were allegations, there were drugs, drinking, women, whatever the wrong things were there in IPL. And that is why I always said someone created a monster to demolish Indian cricket image. And it has happened. No one can cover up that because someone has made a breeding grounds to do all these unwanted things for the cricketers. You can't blame only the cricketers. Why all these franchises of money people gets involved in this? I'm sure that there are issues. I think we have got hold of a lot of credit should go to the Indian Delhi police, but this is a small fish. I'm sure the big fish are still in the sea. I don't think this will not end. This will not go into issues. What they will do is they will go this under the carpet, like what has happened in the past.
Exactly.
2009, we had a problem. ICC Anti-Corruption Unit Chief.
Exactly.
Sir Paul Condon gave a report. Have they given an inquiry? No. I'm not talking about conflict of interest with Srinivasan and the cricket board. That is nothing to do with me. But this particular IPL has created a monster, created the breeding grounds for unwanted people to get in and the cricketers to be ashamed.
Well, I mean, and Gulu, well, Khushbu also joins this panel, the mega panel. Rahul Narvekar coming to you. Gulu, I want you to respond to what Sohail said there. Because there are those people who say, let's focus more upon the brand. Their concern is today the brand. And the investments made in... No, you said that.
I said there are two things. I said there is a brand and then there is the issue of illegality. Look at both in their separate silos.
No, they're all linked.
Abundantly clear in my opening remarks because I knew these comments would be twisted.
No, I'm not twisting. I'm not twisting, Sohail. You made the comment, and today I would say, let's keep your business interests out of it for a while. 1 second. Gulu Ezekiel, do respond to that argument.
I have no business interest.
No, not you. I'm saying overall. Yes, Gulu.
Arnab, actually, it's interesting that Sohail should mention the brand image, and I have a lot of regard for Sohail as far as branding goes. He's obviously a numero uno in the country as far as that is concerned. You know that today, just a couple of hours before I entered your studio, the Pune Chargers, which is owned by Sahara India, have pulled out of the IPL. Now, the Pune Chargers were bought by Sahara India
Warriors.
3 years ago for the highest rate
Pune
of
Warriors,
franchise, 1,700 crore rupees.
Yeah.
The fact that Sahara India
My
have
God.
pulled out of the IPL, claiming that the franchise fees are too high, is to me an indication that the edifice of this tremendous brand which Sohail refers to is actually now crumbling. And the fact that Sahara, the most expensive franchise, has announced they're pulling out from next season is really the thin edge of the wedge. Okay, that's as far as branding is concerned. That's Sohail's department. He's an expert in that. I'd like to now switch to a couple of other issues. Charu, my very good friend Charu, had started off by talking about spot fixing and not being match fixing. Now, we know that Chandela, one of the bowlers who has been arrested, conceded 14 runs in 1 over. And in that particular match, his team, Rajasthan Royals, lost the match by 14 runs. Now, 3 years ago, when the Pakistanis were arrested for spot fixing for bowling a no ball or wide or whatever in a test match, 1 no ball or wide is not going to change the course of a test match, 5-day match. But 1 expensive over, as Charu well knows,
Exactly.
is pivotal in when you're talking about 20 over cricket. Okay, that's number 2. Third point, you've got an expert on branding like Sohail, you've got an expert on cricket like Charu, you've also got the queen of Bollywood journalism on your show, Shobha Dey. Shobha, goes back decades as far as Bollywood is concerned. And Arnab, you may recall that back in 2009, Mr. Lalit Modi had floated a rumor that he was in talks with a Bollywood legend to start a new franchise. On your channel 4 years ago, Arnab, on an phone interview, I had put out this warning that IPL is making a huge mistake by getting involved with the entertainment industry, because the entertainment industry, as Shobha has said, has known links to various nefarious activities. Now, I am not pointing fingers at the big wigs of Bollywood who are obviously above board and highly respectable. But Bollywood, to my limited knowledge, is full of creeps. It's full of
No, you can't generalize all of Bollywood, but anyway, there are a few.
As Shobha says. And these characters are today infiltrating cricket.
But you can
and
generalize
they're
all
like
of
parasites
cricket.
of the game. They're just jumping on the bandwagon.
Okay.
They're parasites.
Okay. Already locking horns with you out there. Charu Sharma gets ready to lock horns with you. He says you can't generalize on all of cricket. Okay, Shobha, you want to add something to this? What he's saying is that this mix.
I understand
this is he said an unhealthy mix.
Well, it has always been that way, but I have to add that in the old days, the honey traps were not the honey traps as we know them now. The cricketers have always exuded enormous glamour, enormous style, enormous an attraction, a fatal attraction for Bollywood actresses who married them. Some of them married these cricketers, dashing cricketers, like Sharmila Tagore married Pataudi, and there was, of course, Anju Mahendru, there was Neena Gupta, there was Reena Roy. But at no point did anybody suggest that there was any kind of a nexus, or these ladies were there as to send there to entice these cricketers to fix matches. It was a question of glamour, attracting glamour and success. Today, it's a different story. Today, these ladies are planted so that they can be very active participants in the rot that has set in. And I refuse to believe and I refuse to concede that the people at the BCCI, the top levels, they are not aware of this. And it's also very
they turned a blind eye. You think they turned a blind eye? They knew about it, they turned a blind eye.
I would say, Arnab, I'd go as far as to say that they've co-opted senior players, senior journalists, senior former captains into the system, who are on their payroll, who have made it all somehow kosher, who have legitimized all of this knowingly and for big bucks, big returns. It's all about corruption, money and rot. So let's not get away from that and let's not try and whitewash it.
Yeah.
And let's not talk about 2 eggs and 3 eggs. The entire basket is
My
rotten.
question is simply this, and you know the big exclusive is coming up. Rahul Narvekar, I'm sorry to come to you late. I'm also coming to Khushbu. Rahul Narvekar, let me come to you first. The argument is this, Rahul, that an investigation that begins on a premise that there is no big deal is no investigation at all. Do you agree?
Well, Arnav, at the outset, I would like to state that none of us need to be surprised with the outcome of what has happened over the last 2 days. Well, match fixing and spot fixing has been happening for ages. BCCI may prefer to turn a blind eye to it. The problem is not with the sport, the problem is not with the players, the problem is with the governing body, with the organizing body, and that's the BCCI. They have been enjoying this undeserved autonomy for years together and non-accountability, due to which they prefer to have a blind eye to these sorts of incidents, and therefore that's where the crux of the problem is. And insofar as the IPL is concerned, it is definitely a fantastic commercial module where everyone is making money, right from the players to the franchisees to the people who advertise, everyone at all. But what we've lost in the whole bargain is the sporting interest. There's too much of money involved in this game. There's too much of attention focused on this
now
game with absolutely
another politician. You're unforgiving. You're unforgiving, Rahul. But here's another politician, Khushbu, who is far more forgiving. In fact, she says don't target the IPL. Let's take all points of view, then the exclusive report, then we are opening up the debate. Yes, Khushbu, why are you so defensive about the IPL? Some would say you begin an investigation with the BCCI saying that there is no major problem. That is no investigation at all. That's a cover-up.
Investigation has to be done. Millions of fans all over the world have definitely felt being completely let down by the wrongdoings and the greed of 3 players. There is a huge nexus.
No, why 3 players? Why 3 players?
Yeah.
How do you know 3 players?
No, let me finish. I'm coming to that. I said this is the 3 players which are there in the forefront. The 3 players who have been arrested. We have started this debate because these 3 players have been arrested and investigated.
No, one of these 3 players has said right now it's breaking on. 1 minute. One of these 3 players, Srishant, look at that. He's getting legal advice. He's obviously saying now, he's giving a breaking news statement right now that my honor and dignity will be vindicated and restored. I am completely innocent. I have never indulged in spot fixing. Will you accept what he says as well?
Arnab, there are 2 ways of it. Every person, every convict is going to say that I'm innocent. Every cop is going to say there's going to be an investigation. When Srishant and the other 2 players were arrested, I'm sure there was they were following, the cops were following them for the last 6 months before they caught them red-handed, and the investigations are on. I'm sure Srishant and the other 2, Chandila and Chavan, they both have, all the 3 players have all the rights under the democracy to say that they are innocent, and we are going to find it legally, and we are going to be vindicated in this case. Now that is a secondary issue. I am saying there is greed. It's not with these players alone. Just because they become high-profile players, because you play IPL or you play cricket, cricket is worshipped as a religion in our country.
Why are you talking only of players? Why aren't you talking of the BC in every season of the IPL? Every season of the IPL, the police arrest bookies. In every, am I right, Mr. YP Singh? Every season of the IPL, they arrest bookies. They have confessed. Many of them confessed to links with the D company. They all let off eventually due to lack of evidence. This time also,
lack of investigation, in fact,
because of lack. YP Singh, why are they let off?
Yeah, they are let off because of lack of investigation. There is a criminal nexus among a lot of people. If police wants, they can disband the entire network within minutes. It won't even take days or months or weeks. It can be done instantly. These things happen openly only because they take prior permission from the police. And one of the reasons why we have been telling BCCI so many times, you pay to the state governments to have a dedicated police force so that they can totally dedicate themselves for IPL investigations and betting investigations.
This cricket
BCCI
investigation,
is reluctant. They don't want to do it.
Why would they not want to do it is the question.
Yeah, because
why would they not want to know what?
Raise the question.
Aslam Ghani,
because BCCI
Aslam Ghani,
thousands of crores, they can spend 2 crores.
The question that has been raised.
Aslam Ghani, tell me.
I'm saying you blame the cops. You blame the
Yes.
referee friction.
Tell me,
You
tell
blame
me
the
before
cops,
I
you
go to
blame
my
the
next report.
investigation, you blame the
For 10
BCCI.
years.
But
Yes.
For 10
yeah,
years.
you blame everyone. You blame. But why? I'm saying why we are not having had debates about how the nexus has been operating. Why we never had the cops on the air talking about making headlines?
Well, I'm
And
very
how
sorry,
they
all
have
of this.
been
No, exactly. You are
going
answering
wrong
your
with
own question.
investigation.
You are
Why
answering
we
your
never
own
spoken
question.
about
Of course, we
BCCI
have
or
known.
ICC?
No,
I am
Khushbu,
saying just because these players,
Khushbu. Let's not be ostrich-like in our approach. No, Khushbu, the fact is
no,
this.
I want to know.
Don't.
No, I want to say.
Why?
I'm not. I have nothing to do with cricket, but I'm a huge cricket fan. I have nothing to do with this.
So
players,
how is it-
But I have respect for the players who do
One
play
second,
for the
who's-
country.
no, one second.
And for the party.
One second.
No, let me finish up now.
Khushbu,
I am
you see, the
saying-
problem
I am
is this.
saying- no, Arnab,
The
let me
problem
finish
is this, that you
first.
and
No,
Charu
let me-
Sharma have made this entire argument. And Charu Sharma, I'm sorry to take your name twice. You and Charu Sharma have made this entire argument about don't sully cricket. Don't tarnish all players. Who's tarnishing all players?
No, I'm not saying no. We are not saying don't tarnish. I'm saying just because you have arrested 3 players, or there has been cases.
Just because?
Today is IPL. Prior to this, there was a test match. Prior to that, there was one day. We had Hansi Crony. We had so many international players being caught into spot fixing
Come on,
or match
Khushbu.
fixing. I'm saying we have had examples.
Khushbu.
Yes, it does exist. Not today. It has been
So?
going on for the last 10 to 12 years.
Khushbu.
I'm saying let the cops investigate.
But
What
do
let
not
the cops?
tarnish
Yeah,
the game of
Sohail's coming. What Sohail?
Game.
Sohail from London,
Game.
please. Yeah, 1 second. Yes, Sohail.
Game
Sohail.
is to
It's-
be looked at a game.
One
In
second.
point
spite
that
of
you
this,
Sohail.
make, the point
see
that
Sohail.
you make
stadiums
is
going-
valid.
Khushbu, 1 minute. Let Sohail come in.
The stadiums are still full.
Okay, thank you. The point that you make is valid, that this is not the time to let anyone else off the hook. But look at the shining examples we have in our lives around us. We've got such honest chief ministers who steal money to erect statues.
I
We've
knew that
got
was
people
coming.
in parliament who take cash for votes. We've
do
got
not
amazing
discuss
social
politics,
examples.
Sohail.
That
Cricket,
doesn't justify
which was
anything.
meant to be a sport for gentlemen, is today being run by a bunch of people who are perhaps not willing to come to terms with the taint that is afflicting the game. So the problem is threefold. The problem is that no one is daring to take the BCC on, and those who do are shown the door.
That's it.
Ajay Markey
That's the point.
Made a valiant
That's the
effort
point.
to tame these guys. He was shown the door, so was Manishankar Iyer. Number 2, BCCI is like everything good in India. It is like a jalebi. It is so complex that when you eat it, only after 10 years will you get diabetes. But no one wants to
No.
fall off that temptation.
No,
So
Sohail,
people
you're on
will
a good
fight.
point. You're on a good point.
I'll tell
Shobha
you,
wants to
I'll
add
tell you.
to it.
And the third important point is that today you have a nexus which is so deep, it is so intricate, and it is so bipartisan that no one wants to be not taking an active stance against it. So industry is involved. You know, corporate sponsors are involved. Bollywood is involved. Media is involved. I mean, everyone's involved.
So
They're
one
not
minute.
involved anyone
This
who is
one
not involved with the IPL.
No, one
you and
second.
me.
We are going back.
And Shobha, perhaps.
We are going back to the BCCI. I know that the police have links. They have telephone conversations with people in Dubai, in Pakistan. They know about the D company. They know all the details. Now, why is the Indian Cricket Board quiet about that? Why are they quiet about that? I don't know. Yes, Shobha, you want to.
No, I just wanted to add something to what Suhail
I think
is
the
saying.
BCCI believes the D company is a film.
No,
Suhail, you're being a
They
little
don't know.
facetious. What I want to say is that the BCCI seems to be a law unto itself. Not answerable, not accountable. They create their own rules. They pretend that those rules are not being broken, but nobody can hold them accountable. I mean, if there are people who are indulging in criminal activity, they have to be treated as criminals. You can't have a separate set of laws and make excuses for them. So similarly, the BCCI is operating within the law of the land in India. How can it be judged and above it all? And why are we making those kind of concessions in the first place? Because we are allowing them to take advantage of all the various loopholes within our own system.
Can I just at this very point I raise a bigger question. Is it possible? No, Charu Sharma, you don't like the D word. You don't like the D word, but can I come to you after my next?
No. Can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
Just very little. I mean, there's a separate point. I mean, we're also looking for solutions here. There are a lot of suggestions that the BCCI ought to appoint this or to do that, or the police ought to do this or the police ought to do that. I just have one question for you and everybody else on your show tonight.
Yeah.
Which agency would you like to appoint for the cleaning up of this whole mess, which is completely proper and not corrupt? Which
No,
agency
once I'll answer the question. Charu Sharma, I have great regard for you. I grew up watching you on television. My regard for you continues. You asked me a question. With great pride, I accept the question. I want to throw a counter question at you. My view is, Mr. Charu Sharma, your question is completely rhetorical. Your question is not substantial. I throw a counter question at you, Mr. Charu Sharma, that in the recent past, there have been allegations against Indian players. You know there are allegations against matches involving India. You know that the BCCI has flatly refused to look at this. Will you, Charu Sharma, say on television on my program tonight that the BCCI has flatly refused to look at this? Will you describe the approach of the BCCI, Charu Sharma, on my program as an ostrich-like approach? And do you believe this ostrich-like approach will help clean Indian cricket? Tell me.
No. They can't be.
Then you agree with
sure.
There you are.
They do much more. Yes, they can. But they need, yes, of course they need to do a lot more. But I'm still saying that to catch all the culprits, and we of course claim there are many more, we need other agencies. We need the involvement of other agencies. There was even a suggestion that maybe the BCCI ought to pay for a special or a separate
one sec. Arjuna Ranatunga wants to come in. Arjuna Ranatunga.
Police earlier on had so much.
I'm sorry, I'm getting it.
In the past.
I'm going to Colombo.
Come about them. Nothing.
From Colombo, Arjuna Ranatunga has been wanting to come in. Yes, Mr. Ranatunga. Sorry to come to you late.
No, the biggest problem, I think a lot of people are trying to go away from the issue. What is the issue? Issue is the IPL. Why we created this? A lot of people are talking about match fixing, spot fixing. When you create a shorter version like 2020, you tend to fix spots, but it can fix the entire game. People who has played cricket, I'm totally agree with Neha. She mentioned something earlier. Some of the past cricketers, some of the past greats I respect, when they come on TV or media, they try to cover up this. I think this is so sad. The game has gone to this particular level. How many people analyze this and talk about it? I'm ashamed to say that I played with some of these greats, but they have a duty to protect this game. When we created this, I'm sure that a lot of people are paid money. If we can get the money out, if we can get someone to come out and say how much money all these coaches, managers are getting, I'm sure people will say, okay, why the problem is this? But have India cricket improved because of IPL? But someone give me an answer on this.
You see, I completely, you are raising a cricketing point. For a lot of people, it's more a national point. And I'm going to come to you, Rahul Narvekar, right after the next story, because it's not just about somebody fixing, it's about the kind of money. And when we hear about D company, Dawood Ibrahim money, it gets serious. You cannot have the same group that is involved in anti-national activities, messing around with cricket, and therefore trying to play with the loyalty and the love that billions of Indians have for the game of cricket. That's not done. First, Rahul Narvekar, what do you make of the D company angle and why it's been covered up?
The point is, like I've told you, the accountability, there's no accountability factor with the governing body, and therefore whenever there is any such act that takes place, it is it's kept under covers.
No, this is 10 years back. No, this is 10 years back.
I'm sorry, Arnab, can I?
Yeah, okay, Aslam Ghoni responding to you.
Yes, please listen. I'm not able to understand. You see, on one hand, you are referring to a statement made by Dawood's brother, which is made as back as in 2003. And this statement, you say that, it was something made to police.
Yeah.
See, BCCI, how can be doing something about it if the police is sitting on it?
Oh,
this is what I made a point before you in my last discussion also. These are crimes. Arnab, let us not forget. These are crimes and crimes of very high magnitude.
Has no idea about what's happening with the game.
No. BCCI has idea, but BCCI cannot do anything. BCCI cannot do anything. BCCI can at the best throw out the person who is found involved in such things.
Did they
BCCI
ever
cannot punish a person.
One sec, one more question.
Cannot arrest a person.
One sec, Mr. Aslam Ghoni, Rahul Narvekar, one sec, before you come back, one question coming to you from YP Singh. Yes, YP
Now,
Singh.
it
Yeah,
is
go
the
ahead.
job of any organization to report the misdeeds to the competent authority. Now, BCCI was so naive that it wouldn't be knowing what the players were doing. If they had an iota of information, they could have provided the clues to the police.
What is that?
Police
What
could
is
have
that?
expanded
A
it
person
quite
is- a person
substantially
is
to
deported
make it
from
into a
Dubai.
criminal case.
A person
Nothing
is
of the
deported
sort was
from
done.
Dubai.
BCCI
What-
is guilty of criminal
taken in
negligence.
custody by
They are
police.
guilty of
You,
illegal
according to your
omission.
channel, and this man is interrogated by police.
Why
and
you
police,
is-
he makes
why
a statement
BCCI
before
is not
police,
funding a
and you
special
said police has
police
been
force?
sitting on it.
We have
Do
been
you think that
telling again
police
and
was?
again.
No, one sec. This classic passing the buck. No, this is classic passing the buck. 1 minute, please. First of all, gentlemen, calm down. I can't come to Srinagar and calm you down. 1 second, Aslam Ghoni.
About the thing.
Aslam Ghoni, you said you won't walk off the program tonight, so 1 minute, please. You promised me in 1 second. Well, calm down, sir. Calm down, sir. 1 minute.
No,
sir. No, 1 minute. 1 minute. Sir, don't mind. I'll say something. Don't mind
I
it.
want that
Have
you
a
must
Perrier.
hear the other person.
Mr.
See,
Aslam
you
Ghoni.
people are, I cannot
No,
hear
Mr.
it,
Aslam Ghoni.
what
Mr.
doesn't
Ghoni.
make any sense.
I ask a
It
simple
doesn't make
Mr.
any
Go, 1
sense.
minute. Don't react. Don't react. Mr. Ghoni, 1 minute.
I know. You see, Arnab, I tell you, almost your age, I have been a lawyer and practicing mostly on the criminal side. I am telling you, this is not the way how the.
Sir, that's not the issue. No, 1 second. Sir, I'm very sorry. Sir, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. No, Aslam Ghoni, you cannot use the argument of my relative inexperience. One second. You cannot use the argument.
You ask Khushbu thrice.
Sir, Mr. Aslam Ghoni, 1 minute. We come back to the issue. 1 second.
You name the fourth.
1 second.
Please, you name the fourth.
Can we just
let any panelist name the fourth.
One second. Can I just one second?
Let there be some specification about things.
1 second.
You should
Okay,
be
now 1
specific
minute.
about things.
Now
It's
1 minute.
Not like leveling the bald allegations.
The question is this. 1 minute. Mr. Aslam Ghoni, 1 minute. I asked the question. I don't know why everyone gets so provoked. Yes, Rahul Narvekar.
Team. The BCCI today has decided to go ahead and send anti-corruption bureau officers along with the cricket team. What action have they taken prior to this? It's only because channels like Times Now and other media houses have brought this issue in the forefront, and that's why you're being forced to take this action. Why haven't you acted all these years? That's the question to you.
Why can't BCCI fund a special police force for this? They have thousands of crores coming in. They can always provide 2, 3, 4 crores to the Home Department to have a special police force which will have accountability and also the punch and the statutory power.
A crime being committed on the land in the country, and you want a private organization.
One minute.
Corporation is
1 second.
I cannot understand this logic. I can't understand this
What's the
logic.
question? No. One minute.
Airport authority
1 minute.
Mumbai Airport does it.
Please make this show something like which really conveys something to the people.
Yeah, it conveys.
We are saying something which is.
No, it doesn't.
Which is not possible under any.
No, Mr. Aslam Ghoni, 1 minute. Please just one. You see, the question is one minute, Mr. Ghoni. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Let us have a healthy discussion on the whole thing.
So 1 minute. The question is this, Mr. Ghoni. Don't heckle me, Mr. Ghoni. 1 second. The question is this, Shobha Dey. 1 minute. Shobha Dey. Here you have all of India's top politicians controlling the Mumbai police. All of India's top politicians controlling the BCCI, and one side. We are to believe that the Mumbai police never told the BCCI about the involvement of these 3 players?
What I find really hard to believe, there's several things I find very hard to believe, but clearly the police are working together with politicians and with even the underworld, and they're completely and totally a part of this. So there are rotten eggs in the police as well.
Completely.
So that's the point.
If an outside agency does a raid, now here Delhi police have raided the bastion of Mumbai, where the domain of Mumbai police. Why Mumbai police officers have not been held accountable?
Charu Sharma.
Somebody should, under the police manual, such a person should be placed under suspension.
Charu Sharma, before I close, Charu Sharma, is the BCCI putting blinkers on? Is there a need to be a little bit more open and transparent with the inquiry and expand the scope of the inquiry, not limit it?
Well, one word answer, absolutely. Yes. However, you ducked my question the last time around when I said that who do you think they should appoint to to try and clean up the whole mess. The same people who sat on the report 10 years ago, and so I'm saying it's a difficult situation.
Well, I don't
where
doubt.
you can appoint any kind of investigation agency you want, or all the cops in the country, with due respect to the police. But if that policing, if that detection, if the action is not taken by
Charu Sharma.
the authorities as well, how do we get these people?
Charu Sharma?
How do we punish these people?
Charu Sharma, I only ask questions, but I certainly don't duck questions. So you're wrong. I would, in answer to your question, without trying to duck, I'd say, who is to be investigating it? I say anybody but Ravi Savani, because the BCCI asked Ravi Savani to look into this incident. Ravi Savani was also looking at the spot fixing allegation that emerged last year. What is his report going to say this year that will be any different? And why is the BCCI entrusting the same person? Because they are comfortable with him? Then and bring people out of the comfort zone, I'd say, Charu Sharma. Let the people of this country know there's accountability. Khushbu, time to expand the inquiry. You back that?
I agree.
Yes, I completely agree that you need a little more transparency. You need to expand the investigations. You need to bring the people who are guilty. You need to book them. But I also do not understand. BCCI is a private organization. What happens if the greed, let me finish, Arnab, the greed of few players, you cannot entirely put the blame on the BCCI officials saying that they have been turning a blind eye to it. It's a private organization, people who have been greedy about money. IPL has been, I have been listening to Mr. Arjuna Ranatunga, and he's saying he's been totally against IPL. IPL is about making money, it's about business. Everybody is involved. But what I am saying is, today you on Twitter, you have pictures of Bindu Dara Singh, which was taken with MS Dhoni's wife, probably in the IPL 6.
Okay.
And you have that.
Okay.
So you cannot bring a link. Tomorrow,
I'm not doing that.
Anybody, whoever is on the panel.
Not doing that.
One sec. Arnab.
Need to wrap up.
It's me, you, or anybody on the panel today. Somebody we walked on and somebody wants to take a picture. You and I do not know whether he has a D link or he has a D gang link.
Yes,
or he
but
belongs to some
don't. Yeah, I agree with you, but don't begin by saying that there is nothing big which is going on, because what is if this is not big, I don't know what's big. Ladies and gentlemen, only for want of time, I'm wrapping this up. Gulu Ezekiel, I promise you next time. Okay, Gulu Ezekiel raises hand. 10 seconds, Gulu. Last word to Gulu.
Okay, Arnab, on this panel, there are 8 of us on this panel. There's only one cricketer on the panel, and he's a legend of the game, Mr. Arjuna Ranatunga from Colombo. As we wrap up, I'd like to pay tribute to Mr. Ranatunga for being an independent voice and for not succumbing to various blandishments from the IPL and the BCCI, and for maintaining his independence for the last 6 years. My hats off to Mr. Ranatunga.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, on that happy note. Thank you for joining me on this debate tonight.